This is an urgent problem. I can't emphasize that enough.
The Minneapolis police chief is sounding the alarm over the number of juvenile shooting victims in the city and the age of those victims as well.
As Paul Bloom tells us tonight, MPD is extremely worried about the 15, the 14, even the 12-year-old children getting shot, and sometimes MPD says it is those same age children pulling the trigger.
The numbers here telling a story of younger and younger victims, younger and younger offenders, a system struggling to keep up, and a mother who isn't even confident her son will reach the age of 18.
My son was part of the Kia Boys.
The mother of a troubled young offender opening up about his struggles.
He racked up a lot of different charges and stuff like that.
Cecilia Rice explains her teen son has a history of running around Minneapolis with guns and ripping off cars. He was inside this stolen Kia that crashed into a bus shelter last year while fleeing police, injuring 7 people.
It's becoming so dangerous, that it's scary.
And before his 14th birthday, shot twice in a 6-month span.
They were in stolen cars, going down the street at a stoplight, and someone else seeing that it was them, some other kids in some other stolen cars, and they started shooting at the car.
It definitely feels like they have no respect for their own lives, let alone the lives of other people.
According to the latest MPD data, 33 youth under the age of 18 were shot through the first 9 months of the year. The average age of those victims, not 16 or 17 as the department might expect, but instead averaging out to under 15 years old.
The age of the victims, particularly with the shootings, is just another indication of how active young offenders are today.
The chief points to August shooting of 4 children, 13 and under, driving around in a stolen Kia. Automatic gunfire the department believes was likely unloaded by someone just as young.
And I think that is overall what's different. They're engaging in crime and in behaviors that are dangerous and that harm not only the community, but it also harms themselves.
That's insanity.
Arthur McCoy is now reaching out to kids heading down the wrong path, a path he himself once traveled.
I was a terrible kid, so I want the best of kids.
He recently adopted his uncle's son, who was involved in this shootout at a Northeast Minneapolis gas station last February.
Seeing that video was tragedy. It was heartbreaking.
The Hennepin County Attorney's Office decided not to prosecute the teen as an adult, and Arthur hopes programming at the juvenile lockup in Red Wing will help turn his life around. The teen bounced between 22 foster homes from the time he was 9 until he was nearly killed at 15.
But we're talking about a kid here who lost his way from a young age, who didn't have a system that he can depend on, didn't have parents who he can depend on, and didn't have loved ones who can depend on.
Arthur, Cecilia, and the chief believe there are no easy solutions.
They live life off of survival, and then survival is kill to be killed.
And it's like anything can happen, someone can shoot him or whatever the case is, or he could shoot somebody else.
I am worried what comes next with some of these kids that have been so active.
And the chief there went on to say his officers are dealing with a small group of kids he calls extremely active, blaming a lot of what's going on right now on a dangerous mix of stolen cars, social media, and too many easily available guns with high-capacity modifications. With 3 months left in the year, he is really concerned about where these final numbers are headed for this young age demographic. Paul Bloom, Fox 9.